Coming up next, a horror film that needs no introduction. But we have to introduce it anyway. It's the OG Friday the 13th. Coming up next on All Guts So Gory.
I've had this dream where I'm in a thunderstorm and it's raining really hard. It sounds like pebbles when it hits the ground. I try to block out the sound with my hands, only it doesn't work. It just keeps getting louder and louder. And then the rain turns to blood.
It's just a dream.
Are you crazy?
We ain't gonna stand for no weirdness out here.
Hello?
Help me!
Did you know that a young boy drowned here?
Help me!
His name was Jason, and today is his birthday.
Help me!
This place is cursed. You're doomed if you stay here.
Help me! It's not funny anymore. Not funny at all. They're all dead. And he's still there.
The mad and macabre.
Oh, what monster could have done this?
I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Wake up, little girl.
Playtime's over.
You don't know what death is.
Sliced and diced.
Welcome to the All Guts So Gory podcast. My name is Mike, joined as always by my partners in crime, Justin and Charlie. Pardon me. I'm real quick. The three of us are just getting our clothes back on from our strip Monopoly game we just finished.
Well, we'll have to finish it a different night because
I won.
Got to go check on my cabin real quick.
It's Friday the 13th, guys. Check your calendars. There's a reason we did this movie.
Why?
Well, this is a cornerstone horror movie. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. And you guys are in luck because not only is it Friday the 13th this month, check your calendar for March. It's going to be Friday the 13th again in a month.
What?
The last time this happened was in 2015, and it won't happen again until 2037.
Dang, that's like Haley's Comet up in this bitch.
Yeah.
Almost exactly like it.
Yeah. So, guys, Friday the 13th. Let's start with a question.
All right.
I have a question for you guys.
I think I know what it is.
And I think I know the answers that you guys have, but for the audience, are you a Jason guy or a Freddy guy? Justin, I'll start with you.
Oh,
that's easy.
I am definitely a Freddy guy. Like, Freddy all the way. Freddy's got a personality. Freddy is, I don't know.
Okay, thanks, Justin. Charlie? Just kidding.
You son of a bitch. No, like I said, Freddy plays with his food, not his food, but you know what I mean. He's the cat and mouse is it's a little more entertaining because there's a little more pizzazz to it, I guess. Yeah, he's got good one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great lore.
Sure.
With Jason, it was, but okay, as a kid, Jason seemed a lot more grounded in reality, which maybe frightened me a little more. Maybe that's why. I always found Freddy to be, laughable and I could find some wit in it and some humor. So maybe I strayed away from it as a kid.
Yeah,
Who
there's
knows?
a supernatural element to Freddy for sure. How about you, Charlie?
Jason, 100%.
Uh,
Ride or die.
My man.
It's a big
Freddy
old
is-
dummy. It's a big
Freddy's a-
old dummy, man.
Freddy's a trick ass, punk ass, mark ass buster.
Oh,
I'm not gonna go that far. I mean,
Compared like Jason almost around. Jason ain't got time for all that foolish monk. He's coming. I mean, Friday the 13th, first one, there's, really no Jason, right? But then they tricked us at the end and made it seem like he's still alive. So they had to do another movie. Second one, I mean, Jason kind of shows up, but not really.
here's what I want to
The
know.
third movie on, I mean, he is a stone cold killing machine with a hockey mask.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll get into the next movie, I'm sure, at some point today and at the next time. But like, does Jason know how to read a phone book? Does Jason know how to take a taxi? How's he gonna show up in a different city and chop somebody's head off? I mean, he can't travel.
The first rule of Friday the 13th is you don't ask questions.
Oh, okay.
That's why, like in part 8, when they get on a ship in Crystal Lake and end up in New York, like, oh, I didn't know the lake was connected to the Atlantic Ocean. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
Maybe it's like a man-made lake with a dam system, and they can go through the locks into
we never
the
know.
river. You know,
I'm pretty sure to be a lake, it has to be landlocked with no way out.
What, there's artificial
Lake
ones
Michigan.
that are, like what's the one in
Canal.
Nevada that they made? You know, like
Mead. Is that Mead?
What's the one they made in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
River. And
I don't think anybody wants to hear us talk about that.
No.
If you don't want that, we're
rabbit
start
holing.
talking about flags.
What?
So
Flags.
What?
Jason,
Oh, flags.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
I saw this hilarious meme. Before we get too far into it, this meme was about. It showed the image that Mrs. Voorhees has in her mind when she's thinking about Jason drowning.
Yeah.
The image of him as a kind of a misshapen boy.
Mongoloid.
I did not use that word because I don't think it's allowed anymore.
Mongoloid?
That was again.
Troglodyte. No.
That was out before the R word was out, and the R word is out. Yes. Oh my God!
No,
it's a song by Devo. Just so you know,
it was just a still image of that where he's looking all Jason like, and it was a POV of like another counselor. He was like, "Yeah, this is why I didn't jump in to save him. Mrs. Voorhees is just gonna have to come see me."
Well, that's wrong.
I know it was wrong.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
Sorry. I guess the M word was rendered offensive as far back as the 1960s. So I apologize.
Yeah, not even Bugs Bunny was saying that shit, man. He was saying all kinds of stuff.
It was like John Wayne was the last one to use it, like Rio Bravo.
I just thought it was a term like alien looking. That's all I thought it was.
That's okay. That's okay. You
That's
just
all
didn't
I
know.
thought it was.
Well,
Yeah,
you didn't know.
I didn't know. And this is, if you're open-minded and you learn things, and now I know never to use that word again.
He's going to use it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, he's already picking out his conversation starter to get to use that word.
Oh gosh, Jesus!
If you were one of those TikTok freestyle rappers, I would use that as your word that you had to work into a freestyle.
What word?
You know, the one that rhymes with schmongoloid.
You still said it.
No, I rhymed it. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Back on topic.
Rails.
Jason guy or a Freddy guy? It's Jason for me all the way. I think Freddy is witty, smart. There's layers to his story. Robert Englund is super synonymous with the character, and we love Robert Englund. Jason is just like stalk, kill, move on. The cast in Jason movies is usually attractive people. I think Jason movies are better for like get the gang together and laugh along a little bit. You don't have to pay as much attention. The jump scares are better. You know, maybe I'm just a simple guy because I use terms like the M word. But Jason movies are a better hang, in my opinion. Gosh. Do they make them like this anymore? I think everything these days either seems to try to be elevated. I mean, Terrifier is like the closest thing to this, maybe? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think.
And even that's like.
Yeah, the Terrifier is
super
different.
Super popular.
I don't know if you can try to recreate this, and there's other movies that have been done that are similar to Friday the 13th that really don't. I mean, it was kind of like the first sleepaway camp murder thing, at least as far as I know. And I mean, it was a big deal when it came out. You know, I was 11 years old, something like that. 27 or 11.
You were 11 years old in 1947.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, it wasn't like when Jaws came out. Jaws was a phenomenon that took over. Same thing with The Exorcist. This was kind of a smaller scale, but for me, rewatchable. Hell yeah, this is great.
Both of those movies you mentioned, The Exorcist and Jaws, were humongous, like blockbuster books too, like swept the nation.
Yeah,
like books, right? You can't write a good slasher book, I don't think. I don't know.
I don't know.
Could you
I'll have to
imagine
look and see if there is one?
Being a horror movie fan back in the 70s and you get Jaw or Exorcist comes out and you're like, wow, finally getting some kind of and then Jaws comes out and you're like, holy crap, this is the best decade for horror movies ever. And then it just kind of
right.
And then Halloween comes
out. If you're a Halloween person.
Those weren't summer blockbusters. I don't know if Exorcist was
summer movie. Halloween is like the biggest, is like an indie film. It's like the biggest indie film, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it just looked like it was going to be, great things.
I think the beauty of it is it wasn't really winking at the camera too much. The movie wasn't. The actors weren't really winking at the camera like, we know we're doing something shitty. We're doing, these are young people that are in a scary situation and they're playing it pretty straight up. Nowadays, I feel like everything has to have we know we're being,
Yeah.
Right.
Like today,
like the newer movies that kind of try to capitalize on that Friday the 13th kind of, sleepaway camp murder slasher thing. They're usually like a bigger budget movie. They don't do very well, but I mean, it's kind of an homage.
And even the low budget ones are all like the Disney IP becoming public domain. It's like Popeye the Slayer Man. It's the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, that kind of crap.
The latest Fear Street movie wasn't the Prom Queen one. I mean, a slasher type film, and Hard Eyes. I just want you guys to do it.
Hard Eyes, motherfucker.
And it was pretty straight up with, slasher too. So they're few and far between, but like they don't make the same impact because we have a whole catalog of stuff we're referencing. Oh, that's just like this, or that's just like this.
But I don't want to be one of those guys who's like, well, horror movies will never be as good as they were back. No, I'm not that guy. I look forward to new horror movies coming out. I like new horror movies. Just crank them out and let me get my fill and keep going.
In like sports and stuff, they call those people old heads because they're the ones that are always like, back in my day, that's a travel, or back in my day, you couldn't hand check, or other stuff. And I'm talking about basketball. You guys,
we got it.
Eyes rolled back a little bit.
That was curling.
Yeah, curling. But man. I'm glad I revisited this old friend of mine here.
Yeah. Something I was thinking about before we get into the movie here is, where did the actual origin of Friday the 13th come from? Not the movie, but the actual day as a cursed day or an unlucky day.
I'm hoping you know.
I looked up.
I heard
a few different things.
What I heard, the information that kicks around in my head on Friday the 13th was when the King of France went out around the Knights Templar, that organization that was knights and Catholic and religious, kind of like warrior monk, became really powerful during the Crusades and formed a banking system that worked on codes where you would drop off money in wherever they were, Italy or France or maybe Spain, I'm not sure, but some European, and they would give you this code, I'm not sure, like written down on something, and then you could redeem that when you got over to Palestine, the Middle East. So you would have kind of like money, and what I heard was they became too powerful, and King of France rounded them all up on the 13th of whatever month in
October. It looks like
12 something.
Yeah,
that seems really advanced for the 1300s.
1307, yeah.
King Philip IV of France.
There you go.
Ordered the arrest of the Knights of Templar, leading to the torture and execution of many.
Did you see
trying to get their money?
Did you see the Judas thing?
Yeah, the 12 guests at Jesus' Last Supper. The 13th was Judas, who betrayed him.
On a Friday.
And Jesus was crucified on a Friday. And then in mythology, a North myth, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't speak. A Norse myth tells of a dinner party for 12 gods. The 13th to arrive, who was uninvited, was Loki, leading to the death of Balder, the god of joy and light and beauty.
Well,
that's you learn that you need to invite Loki to your shit, man.
So, long story short, it took 670 something years for someone to capitalize on this cursed day and turn a movie into it.
There you go. $1 bills, y'all. Oh, lights went out again, didn't they?
Yep, I'll get them. That's only going to happen about 8 more times during this episode. So. Yeah, I'm in a room with automatic lights, and they just go out if I don't move. So,
right.
All right. Well, guys, let's get a little bit more on topic with this movie. You guys ever go to summer camp as a kid?
I always never did.
I did like a Bible camp one time for like a weekend. That was fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you guys know about triskaidekaphobia?
Triskaidekaphobia? No.
Yep.
Is that when you're afraid of dick crackers?
That's when you're afraid of the crumbs from the Triscuits hitting your dick. Yeah, it's possible. No, it's the fear of Friday the 13th, or the number 13. I mean.
Oh.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to summer camp as a kid. I went to a Boy Scout summer camp every summer. It was on a lake in western Pennsylvania, about 4 hours from home. And looking back on it, the place was called Heritage Reservation. And the 2 campgrounds on Heritage Reservation were called Camp Freedom and Camp Liberty, which sounds like if Turning Point USA operated these camps, it's exactly what they'd named this shit. Camp Freedom on Heritage Reservation.
Kid Rock will be there.
I always wanted to, like, growing up, like, movies came out, and there was 3 networks back in my day, and movies and Disney movies every once in a while would make it look so awesome, but
Salute Your Shorts on
turns
Nickelodeon.
out living in the South, there's not a whole lot of there's work camps.
You gotta watch out for gators.
There's juvenile camps. I don't want to go to any of those.
There's chain gang.
I bet there was rich kids that probably did that.
Yeah, they probably rode and shit.
So, Charlie, I want to pose a question to you, Charlie. This film, Friday the 13th, the OG, came out in 1980. You're a few years older than Justin and I. Do you remember any buzz around this film, or were you at the age that this was a rental by the time you got around to it? What's your take on it?
Kind of somewhere in between, because when it came out, I was only 11 years old. From my origin episode, my mother was really into horror movies, saw Exorcist and Jaws in the theater back when they came out. And so I didn't get to go see this one in the theater. And kind of, back in that day, it wasn't really talked about a lot, but we had Showtime in 1981. And I'm pretty sure that's the first time I saw it, either 81 or 82, catching it on Showtime, something like that. We weren't rich enough to have HBO, but we did have Showtime.
Justin, what's your relationship to Friday the 13th, the OG here?
Very kind of similar to my relationship with Nightmare on Elm Street, where it was one of those that my brother and I probably saw on like a VHS tape that somebody brought home from the Blockbuster or something when we were far too young. I don't in that 6, 7, 8 range, probably.
6, 7.
Right. Yeah, it was a. Well, I think I'm gonna be like Mike on this one here, and I think I saw probably later ones first. I don't think I went back and saw Friday the 13th, the OG. until after I'd seen probably part 2 and 3 and 4, I'd imagine. So
yeah, I mean, for me, it was these movies would run on television, like on Sci-Fi Channel or USA Network. It'd run on cable. I was born in '84, so probably by the time I was like 8, 9 years old, these things were running on cable on Friday the 13th. So you knew, like, if you were at school and they were like, it's Friday the 13th, like when you got home, they were running a marathon. They were just running these movies back to back all day long. And so, like, I'd stay up at night and I'd, like, watch them with the commercials, and they're obviously edited for television, but you would catch the middle of part 5 or the middle of part 8, or and then it wouldn't be until it wouldn't be maybe later down the road I'd actually catch this one, the OG, or you're so, like, synonymous with the hockey mask, about it. And then when you watch the original, you're like, where the fuck is Jason at?
Exactly.
So I don't remember what order I saw them in, but I do remember when I was old enough that my cousin and I would walk down to the video store, and we did rent this. It was renting it, bringing it home, watching it, and being like, where the fuck is Jason? Because we really just didn't know.
Right.
Because you're catching all the sequels and the shit running on TV. You see the hockey mask, you see the killer. You know what I mean?
For sure. I remember being at one of the horror conventions that I've been to, and like these people were debating how like people were stupid for calling the end of this one a twist, because no, it was Jason never existed really, so this couldn't be a twist. Like, it's still a twist that this mom is the one going around killing everybody, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's unique because a
lot
of movies, a lot of movies with a reveal, right? The character is in there the whole time, like in your Scream, where, like, who's the killer? We don't know, and it's always someone that's, like, in the movie. And this one, Mrs. Voorhees doesn't show up until like 13 minutes till the end. So you're like,
13?
Oh, yeah, maybe 16, 17. I don't know, somewhere in there. But it's like, it's a twist, but it's almost like no one could have guessed it, right? Like, you couldn't have guessed. Like, it's almost,
they didn't give us enough clues, right?
Not a clue, not a mention of, like, this woman that used to work here, her boy drowned. Like, no, nothing. All of a sudden, you get the exposition when she shows up in the middle of Act 3, basically.
Kill mommy. So, cultural significance, though. I mean, this was the first one to really, hammer down no matter how fast you run, you're going to trip and fall like an idiot. Somebody's going to be there. You're going to, no matter how fast you run, they're going to be able to walk and catch up to you. And
the Jeep won't start, or the car won't start. Why won't it start? It's wet.
It's wet.
Oh my God, it's raining. Cars don't start in the rain. Okay, that was a funny line in this.
That guy who didn't know what to do with the snake. He's like, "What do I do with it?" Anyway, good movie.
Yeah. So the tagline for this, guys: they were warned, they are doomed, and on Friday the 13th, nothing will save them. Can you use the name of your movie in the tagline? I don't know if that's allowed, but
well, it's really the only thing that ties. I think the sheriff or the cop says it one time, and on top of things, it's Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Crazy Ralph.
Crazy
You're
Ralph.
Doomed. You're all doomed. Ooh.
Like he's a ghost.
It's a great movie. I mean, it's a time capsule because it shows, what it was like, late 70s, early 80s, and, with the clothing, the people, the way they acted. It wasn't like all super
one thing that
cliche or like over the top. It was kind of just like the way people were, and that's except for like the stupid motorcycle cop.
Oh my gosh.
There's a motorcycle cop out in the country.
the country, and he's like, that golden hash, the reefer, the jazz, or whatever. What is he doing?
What's he say to Kevin Bacon? He's like, "You just come out from spaceship, boy."
Yeah, what you smoking? I don't smoke. It's bad for you. You know what I'm talking about? That golden reefer. Whatever he says. We don't handle no weirdness around here. I'm like, what is happening? One thing I didn't know is like, but I'm glad I don't wear Speedos because hiding my bulge in the Speedos, there's one scene where somebody looks up and like Kevin Bacon's like dick is right in their face or somebody. I'm like, dang, come on now.
Yeah, that was the time. That's what people wore.
Yeah.
Charlie knows all about that.
Yeah, it was authentic.
Charlie tucked first, though. Sorry.
Well, he had to, or else it'd be an NC-17.
Right.
Boom. Boom.
All right. Man, the director here, Sean S. Cunningham, very famous in the horror community, very close friend of Wes Craven. Both of them cut their teeth in softcore porn before Cunningham was the producer on 1972's The Last House on the Left, directed by Wes Craven. Also, sounds like Cunningham directed one of the scenes in A Nightmare on Elm Street with Wes Craven, the chase scene. So very close friends, very tight-knit horror community there. And, for this movie, Cunningham, before they had a script, before they had an idea of what the movie was going to be, to try to get investors, they ran a full-page ad in, I think it was Variety magazine, saying that this was going to be the most terrifying movie ever made. And this was just a ploy for Cunningham to get investors. Basically, the pitch was to recycle Halloween, which just came out 2 years before, but add in the brutal violence, which Halloween, it doesn't have. Like, when you watch Halloween, there's almost no blood. It's kind of crazy. But so they wanted to basically take Halloween, put it in the woods, and add a lot of gore to it. So they wanted to ride the coattails of that success, and they were very much not shamed or not afraid to be like, yeah, this is a cash grab. We're going to ride those coattails.
Well, we're going to give the people what they want. Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Tom
quick
Savini
trivia question for you guys. Quick trivia. Okay. Where is Crystal Lake? Camp Crystal Lake.
It's Boy Scout camp in New Jersey. I can't remember the name of the town, but it's in New Jersey.
I thought it was New York.
Blairstown, New Jersey. That's why it's so easy to get to Manhattan from there, okay?
Yeah.
I think it's Western New Jersey. I don't think it's...
Clearly.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's a callback to a previous joke. I get it. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Also, oddly enough, being an East Coaster, I've made a few trips up the New Jersey Turnpike. There is an exit on the New Jersey Turnpike where there's two towns on the highway sign, and one town is Voorhees, and the other town right next to it is Haddonfield from Halloween. I can only shudder to think that the makers of this movie, while they were scouting locations, drove by a sign, saw Haddonfield, and were like, oh, like Halloween. And then saw the other town name that said Voorhees and was like, let's make Voorhees the last name with this character. Because otherwise there's no, I don't know, like otherwise it's a really, really, really crazy, wild coincidence that two incredibly famous names would be on this highway sign in New Jersey. That's my theory.
That's what I'm going to go with.
So much like how Saw benefited from having a centralized shooting area, it seems like this one did too. That real life camp or whatever was kind of perfect for pretty much everything.
Yeah, I went to the website of the camp because it's still an operating Boy Scout camp, but they don't have anything on there about, hey, this is where Friday the 13th was.
They don't want to scare their campers.
No.
Why not? That's the whole point of going camping. Telling ghost stories and shit.
That's true.
Eating s'mores and taking a dump in a latrine and hoping a raccoon doesn't jump out.
And making bargaining with like the daddy long legs in the corner. You're like, you stay up there, man. I won't have to squash you.
Right, exactly.
All right.
So, yeah, Tom Savini. We've talked about him on previous episodes of this podcast. horror
Machine?
legend. Yeah, Sex Machine. Stunts, makeup, and effects in this movie. We'll talk more about him as we go along. Let's talk about the cast for a little bit. There's, a few big names we'll hit on, but we'll talk about Betsy Palmer, who is Mrs. Voorhees. She goes by Pamela Voorhees, but we actually don't find out that her name is Pamela until part 4.
Saying Pam or Pan?
Yeah,
Pam. Hello, Miss Lady.
But yeah, we don't realize that that's her first name until part 4, but she is just Mrs. Voorhees in this. She was a Broadway star, long stints that she was not in film until this role came around. She accepted the part only because she needed a new car. She made a salary of $1,000 a day for her 10 days of filming. Nice work if you can get it.
Yeah.
Even 46 years later, I would take $1,000 a day for 10 days of any kind of work.
I mean,
well,
but then you look at the box office, the 60 million or whatever that it made.
Yeah.
You're like, well, maybe I need like $12,000 for those 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, then Adrienne
should have gone for points.
Adrienne King, she plays Alice, our final girl here. It was nearly 30 years between acting in Friday the 13th here and part 2. And then her next role she didn't take on until 2010. I think there was a Stalker that came after her after this movie was released. And
correct.
It definitely had an effect on her. She hid from Hollywood. She's an artist, for one thing, and she kind of got out of Hollywood after that Stalker incident. And that's why her role in part 2 of this franchise is very, very short. Very, very
There's
small.
a book, an audio book I listened to called Final Girls Club. That's kind of about like how the different movies, Final Girls kind of meet up or whatever. And she was the narrator of it. I kind of like that.
Oh, nice.
I was like, good. That was good to hear.
Yeah.
He narrated one that was, super leery of like stalkers and stuff too. So it could have been triggering for her.
Yeah.
Good on her.
The guy, Bill, was played by Harry Crosby. Bill is the son of Bing Crosby. Nepo baby, huh? No, he was trying to make make a name for himself his own way. And, but
was Bill the one who had to chop the snake's head off?
I don't remember who did that.
I think so, because
the
other one was Nettie.
Ned wasn't doing that.
Nettie.
And then
Nettie
Kevin Bacon, guys. I mean, we talked a lot about Bacon on the Tremors pod. He plays Jack here. This is his first role was a small part in Animal House in '78, a couple of small things, and then this in 1980, Diner in 1982, and then he's a full-blown megastar after Footloose in '84.
He was pretty good in this.
He's really good in this. I loved it. He's really good in this.
Yep.
Yeah. I really didn't have anybody else. I mean, a lot of the cast here they came from Broadway. They didn't have long careers before or after this. Anybody else that notable or anybody else you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Moving on. All right.
Moving on.
Friday the 13th was filmed in 28 days. It was made on a $500,000 budget and grossed $59 million worldwide. That is a hit. That is a big return on your investment.
100x?
100x return on your investment.
Even in that time. I mean, even now. Like if you made this movie today and spent $20 million on it and got 59, that's a hit.
Oh, and that's what
back then. That's huge. It's not Jaws or Exorcism money, but
yeah. I'd imagine after the first weekend they were already like, "Hey, we got to have the next one ready next year, so we got to get cracking on this." And that's what these were pretty much back then. Was like you put out one each year, right? You do what you can to make it 1 year at worst every other year, right?
Yeah. This film came out on May 9th of 1980. Do you guys want to go to the movies in May of 1980? Because here's what you got. You can go see Friday the 13th. The following weekend, you can go see Empire Strikes Back. The following Friday, opening weekend for The Shining.
Oh,
talk about 3 weekends in a row of bangers at the movies, right?
I did see Empire Strikes Back when it came out in Memphis with my dad, my brother, my uncle at a drive-in. It blew my mind.
Did anybody ruin it, or were you?
No.
Okay, good.
All right. Opening weekend, Charlie. Should I hurt Justin's feelings here?
Every chance you get.
Do it.
Friday the 13th opening weekend brought in $5.8 million. 2 weeks later, Justin, The Shining opening weekend. You're a big Shining guy, big Shining fan. What do you think The Shining did its opening weekend?
Probably $1 billion or so.
About 250.
Dude,
Go ahead.
$1 million.
Try 622,000.
Oh, okay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Maybe it was probably limited release or something, you know.
No. That's kind of weird, though. I mean, I never even put that together that The Shining and Friday the 13th came out.
Friday the 13th did 10 times what The Shining did. It's
well, weekend. I just want to say that, you know, Shining's more of a thinking man's movie. You know?
All right. What are you, French? Oh.
I mean, that's just wild. I would have never guessed. I'd have been like, oh, Jack Nicholson movie and 80? Like, that's going to bring in big bucks.
Now, The Shining, okay, so here's the thing. So in 1980, when Friday the 13th came out and The Shining came out, as a kid, there was references between, I was living in somewhere near relatives, like cousins and things like that. And I mean, if I didn't have a cousin yell Danny at me that summer at least 100 goddamn times a day, I mean, The Shining was way Red Rum, that it was way more pervasive than Friday the 13th was, at least in the pop culture. So, yeah. I mean, they both kind of held up with The Shining.
Who won at the end of the day?
Danny.
I mean, everybody.
Would you rather have money in your pocket or awards and accolades? I mean, that's
money.
Yeah, I'd probably take the money door as well.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer for The Shining is got to be the most unsettling movie trailer I've ever seen. And that probably had to hurt its opening weekend. Because even as a horror fan, I'm like, oh my God. Like that trailer, just the music is unsettling. It's the blood coming from the elevators. It's the trailer.
Yeah.
With the unsettling music and like a voiceover about like this film is super scary, like whatever. Like I mean, I don't know.
It sounds like you're talking yourself into it, loving it more than
well, yeah. I mean, I love The Shining, but if like you went to the movies and like this trailer comes on, you're like, what the fuck is that? Or that's that's like way too fucking creepy for me. I'm not going. I'd rather just see some campers get stabbed.
A couple topless campers, yeah.
Yeah. So
here's a trivia question: how many different sets of breasts were there in this movie?
There's not many. There's not many.
Two?
Only one.
Yeah.
Just one?
Only one pair.
Yep.
There you go. It's not about that, Justin.
No, I'm just saying, when you think about these movies, that's what you're like, oh, of course, they're naked counselors having sex and stuff. Later on, I think they amp that up a little bit. But yeah, this one was kind of tame.
Yeah, they do. And it gets worse as you get. I think part 5 is like the worst. And I think even that director was crossing the line into sexual abuse on that one. It's really bad. Like
Thesis level?
No. Yeah. Basically. So Metacritic score for Friday the 13th, 22. Not great.
22.
But the Rotten Tomatoes is up there. It's in the 60s for the Rotten Tomatoes critic and the fan scores up in the 60s. The Metacritic being 22, dragged down probably by Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune, who gave it a 0. Called this a disgusting, artless shocker, a cruel film that offers teenage girls in peril, as well as a gruesome beheading, only for the sickies.
Only for the sickies. Get out of here, Gene.
I guess Gene didn't see the part where Kevin Bacon was also killed and other guys were killed.
Yeah.
And, the girl lives at the end. And Gene Siskel also hated Silence of the Lambs. So, take that for a grain of salt.
Suck it.
I think everybody, from what I've seen, it's like, well, you mentioned this already. Everybody chalked it up to being a derivative of Halloween and exploitative, which by today's standards, this is not exploitative at all.
No.
But you got to walk before you can run, I guess.
Yeah. There was one good review, or one halfway good review out there from the Chicago Reader. A guy named Dave Kerr gave it a 50, so middle of the road. Said the crude technique of director Sean Cunningham borrows whatever sophistication it has from Halloween's precise and elegant point of view shots of the killer, though Cunningham often cheats by using the ploy inconsistently. For all its shoddiness, the film manages just barely to achieve its ignoble goals. It delivers what it promises. So basically what you were just saying, Justin, like shamelessly taking from Halloween and other things.
Yeah, borrowing.
Yeah.
Inspired by.
It's borrowing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this guy, you don't steal from other people.
It's homage.
They give you
homage.
They create it, and
is it homage or homage? Homage.
Same. Different language.
Tomato.
Right. Tomato.
Although I've never ever heard someone call something a tomato. But no awards, no nominations for this, so we'll move on from that. Anything else you guys want to chime in on before we get to the scenes and talk through this movie?
No. Let's get in there.
Good. All right. The opening of this movie, a Sean Cunningham film, a Sean S. Cunningham film. It's 1958. We're at Camp Crystal Lake, and our first two kills of this historic franchise involve two counselors that sneak away from the little kumbaya circle where they're, thinking
about Jesus.
Yeah, playing Michael Row Your Boat Ashore on the guitar. They sneak off to the loft, and then we get a POV of the killer sneaking up on them. This is Halloween right here, the opening shot where you get the killer's POV going up the stairs to meet their victims. And then we get the first two kills, the guy and the girl. Are stabbed. The music that plays after that in the opening credits is very Hitchcock, almost a Psycho-like feel. Yeah, and then fast forward. So far,
not crazy violent so far. I mean, it shows like him doubling over, and then it shows him holding it and kind of falling over, and then it freezes her screaming. So nothing crazy yet.
Right, and then we get a fade to white, which is interesting too. Oftentimes we get a fade to black. This one they fade to white a lot of times.
Sean S. always keeping us on our toes, man.
It's art.
Yeah. Fast forward to Friday, June 13th, 1980, or present, as it says on the title card
present.
There. The present. And oddly enough, in 1980, when this movie came out, June 13th was a Friday. So it tracks.
Oh.
Annie is trying to hitchhike to the camp. She is super excited to be going to Camp Crystal Lake.
So excited.
She's in town about she's really, really amped up. She's got her backpack and everything, and so she goes into town. She's about 20 miles away. Needs to hitchhike. We meet Anus.
You think this is going to be an important character?
Yeah.
Did you say Anus?
Yeah. I think it means Enos.
Enos?
He comes in. She comes into the gas station or their
little diner, the little cafe,
diner / convenience store, and like the needle, like the DJ is like, yeah. Like everybody looks at her like, "Who are you?
You want to go to Camp Blood?
Camp Blood."
Crazy Ralph. It's like you're doomed. But
maybe if you had a conversation with these people, they wouldn't have just dismissed him. But no, he went all Jacob Marley from ooh.
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And then we got, so she gets a ride. She starts making her way there. She gets about halfway. Then we meet Ned and Marcy and Jack. They're on their way in a pickup truck. We meet some more of our characters, Steve and Alice. I think there's a relationship between the two of them. They've been cleaning up this place, getting it ready for the kids to come. Another guy, Bill, as well. He's down there putting a fresh coat of paint on the lifeguard stand. I think Alice was hammering in a nail to hang up a gutter, and I don't know what the fuck that was, but
She had no leverage. Like she was doing it from within inside the gutter, and the nail was like 3 inches long. I'm like, what is happening here?
she was like using her left hand, and it was behind her.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? She's facing
make it look,
the right.
make it look natural.
And like meanwhile,
action.
while she's doing this, he picks up her sketch pad, which doesn't come up later at all. He's just like, "You are a very good drawer."
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this Steve guy?
Right.
Yep. And then we get to meet Brenda. She's over at archery. She's setting up some of the targets. And then Ned damn near kills her with an arrow. I want to know how they did that shot. That was pretty fucking cool for 1980.
Dangerously, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Trust me. That's what they said.
80s.
Trust me.
Fun fact, Tom Savini shot the arrow.
Ah, sex machine.
Must have been like just off camera. Like just off
I hope
camera.
so. And she was probably further away than it looked.
Right,
Like,
That too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But still, like, yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah. So we meet the crew. We meet these guys.
Let me pause for a second, real quick. Then Ned does a Humphrey Bogart impersonation.
There's a couple of those.
Like
it was relative to the time.
Was it, Charlie? 1980.
Yeah.
You were doing Humphrey Bogart impersonations.
I knew who Humphrey Bogart was.
Okay. All right. And Katharine Hepburn.
Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Marcy does Katharine Hepburn, I think, in the mirror.
Okay, so you have to realize you're talking about like today.
I guess I'm doing
2026 doing an impersonation of
yeah,
Borat,
Borat.
Ace Ventura back in the 90s. I mean, the distance wasn't that far apart.
All right. I just feel like Humphrey Bogart was relevant for like 10 years. I'm trying to make Charlie spit out his scotch.
So you know who Humphrey Bogart is.
Heck yeah.
So, there you go.
All right. Yeah. All right. That was it on that. I just didn't know if that would be the real crowd pleaser he was going for.
Yeah. So then we get our first kill of the new batch of characters here in the present. Annie, she's hitches a ride the rest of the way after getting dropped off by the truck driver. And then she's making small talk, and, just she super can't wait to get there. And then she's like, "Hey, I think we missed the road for Camp Crystal Lake. Hey, I think it's back there.
Yeah.
Right?
You think we should turn around?" Like
it had to be
throws
really
yourself out of a moving car.
Oh yeah,
it had to be really confusing if you had seen the Jason Friday the 13th movies and never seen the original Friday the 13th movie.
Driving.
Like, what, does Jason drive?
So
right.
They clued the audience in because they were faithful. They never were an unreliable narrator with that POV shot. That was always from, I believe it was always from Pam, like that POV shot. The first person
Mrs.
view.
Voorhees, yeah.
Hey, now Pam, me and P, special P,
and then also, Pam.
Also, they showed us that whoever's driving has a Jeep, right? That's important for later too.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Steve has a Jeep, and they're the same Jeep to save money.
Right.
Boom.
Yep. That's another fun fact.
And Steve could be still as an audience member, I think they want you to think that Steve is a valid suspect, right?
Oh yeah.
Think?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like
Ralph is a valid suspect too.
Yeah, and that's the
Even
thing about
Ned for a while,
which makes this different from the Halloween movies. Is like this comes off more as like a who's doing this, like a who done it. Whereas Halloween, we know who the bad guy is from the get go, right?
It's Austin
this
Powers,
is
Mike
like
Myers.
You don't know what's coming, and I do think the reveal is valid and they did it right.
Impossible to guess reveal, but yeah, it was a good reveal.
Yeah.
Because even then, when she comes out, you're like, "Oh, this is somebody that might help."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and anyway. Alice wants her help. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, so Annie bails out of the Jeep, hobbles through the woods. Our killer, we kind of see they're in like black pants, boots, some kind of brown houndstooth sweater kind of thing. We get little quick frames of what they're wearing, but we don't know who this could be. Yeah. Pulls out a hunting knife, a Bowie knife, and and slits her throat.
Which we find out later she has on her holster. It's like holstered.
Yep. And then fade to white. Again, the fade to white.
It was the lightest drag of a knife I've ever seen that actually cut through, though. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Well, there were probably issues if they had shot the arrow shooting first. And they're like, fuck that. You're not going to shoot this. You're not going to slice me in the neck with like that. Probably a real knife, actually.
Unlike Nightmare on Elm Street, they didn't have like a doe one. They just had the one.
Just the one.
Yeah. And then, so after Annie's kill, we're still at the daytime, and the crew is down at the lake. They're putting parts of the dock together. Not much happens for a while in this movie. They're just funning around and fixing stuff and cleaning stuff.
It's great.
And then you think there's a jump scare, but it's a snake in the cabin. The fucking Keystone cop comes by. We're looking for Crazy Ralph, and
I'm gonna jump.
And then Ralph ends up in the pantry, jumping out of the pantry like 5 minutes later, and gets on his bike and like rides out. Like, what the
fucking snake? I would jump to the end. Like, I would have survived this because as soon as I fucking saw that snake, I would have been in my car and I would be gone.
I feel like they taught Ralph how to ride a bike on set.
Yeah,
Ralph makes me look young.
Yeah,
didn't have bikes back in
Ralph. What was he wearing?
Ralph was a kid. Like a vest,
like a fedora, and like a t-shirt? Worn out white button down shirt with 3 buttons missing. A vest.
Like somebody took his like sandwich board away from him or something. Like he felt naked, all exposed. You know.
Yeah.
How'd you like to be in movies, kid?
Yeah, and then when the crew's just kind of fooling around, is it Ned that fakes like he's drowning? So Brenda goes to save him.
Ned
tries to slip the move on her. Like, great trope. All right,
that's called sexual assault, Ned.
Yeah. So then we get our next kill happens off screen, but it is Ned when Marcy and Jack go back to the cabin to hook up on the bottom bunk. Camera pans up and Ned is laying on the top bunk with his throat slit. So he gone.
Got.
Yeah, and then we cut over to the other cabin where we have Alice and Brenda and Bill, and Brenda's like,
Monopoly.
Yeah, let's play Monopoly. And Alice is like, I hate Monopoly.
And
Brenda's like, it's strip Monopoly, and Alice is like, really? And gets super excited. Like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that is some guy's fantasy.
Exactly.
As a guy from the 80s and 90s, I can tell you that no girl my age wanted to do anything about strip anything, poker, Monopoly. No one's taking their clothes off. I mean, that's a pipe dream. That's a girls' locker room scene is what that was.
Yeah. I was going to ask you guys this question. Like, strip poker, strip whatever is like portrayed in movies or like talked about like in a TV show or something. It's like, no one's ever actually done this, right? Like,
maybe
I'm
once.
Sure, people have done it.
I mean, but it can't. I don't know. Like, Christ. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even know the rules. I'd be like out of clothes in like 2 minutes. I don't know.
Well, you lose then.
No,
I guess.
Are you losing or are you winning?
Yeah, I'm a grower, not a shower. I'm losing.
You need at least an arm out on some,
Yeah. Hey, Bill played this super cool. Bill is sitting there like, these 2 girls are going to get naked. Like, he was real chill about it. Gotta say.
It's like if I play my Monopoly right.
Right? I think he was trying to be super cool, even though inside he was all fucking super stoked and excited, but you can't let them know that.
They didn't show him reaching down to fluff himself a lot of times.
Oh.
So
wrong pod.
Yeah,
just
and then we cut from the Monopoly game over to Jack and Marcy and what they're doing. And then, Marcy's going to go to the outhouse. Jack's going to light up a cigarette or light up a joint.
Doobie.
And then a little drop of blood from Ned down through the mattress.
Post-coital cig,
Yeah. And then, Jack gets killed with an arrow through the neck from the back, from under the mattress. Amazing stuff.
That was
a real jump scare.
Beautiful.
Fantastic
10-second scene.
Yeah.
You got Kevin Bacon in his cute as he's ever going to be in his entire life, laying down on this bed, lighting up a joint,
thirsty Charlie
and
on this
then
episode.
just like
Right.
a drop on his forehead.
Don't let Charlie watch Wild Things.
Yeah.
Which is super effective. And
he looks to sit up.
Just the direction and the timing and the acting was just perfect. He sees it and is about to discover something, and then an arm just comes out, grabs him on the forehead, arrow through the back of his neck, which I don't think that's possible. But when it comes out like that little part of your throat that is kind of like dented in and doesn't have anything
where they would do the trach.
I'm sure there's a name for it, but and it isn't like a shaft pointy tip. It's a fucking deer broadhead.
Oh, it's a broadhead tip. Yeah,
arrow tip.
Three razor blades on that shit.
So he can't scream. He's in shock. Probably severed a couple nerve bundles through his spinal cord.
I think it's just like his windpipe is
and
done,
then just
and,
blood starts to pool in that little space, and it's just like
perfect stuff. That had to be Savini doing that, right? Savini.
Yeah, I got some fun facts for this scene too.
Before you do it,
hit him or want me?
Real quick, I do want to say I don't know if I'm proud or if I was happy. I'm happy to report it made me jump again, and I've seen it. Like the between the sound and the quick motion and everything, I was like, oh, you got me. I was like, oh, good job.
Yeah. So should I talk about how this worked, the practical effect of it? So Kevin Bacon laid under the bed with his head through a hole in the mattress.
Oh,
there's a latex neck and chest piece. So it's Kevin Bacon's head, a latex neck and chest. Tom Savini is under the bed there too, and pushes the arrow through the neck piece. And then there's a pump with like blood that's supposed to seep out. Well, it wasn't seeping out right away, and he made a split-second decision to blow air into this tube. And when he blew the air, that's when the blood like gurgled, like spurted out, like an arterial kind of spurt, which was way more effective than if blood just like puddled up around the wound. So basically, because the effect didn't work for a second, and Savini had to be like, "I'm gonna blow in this real quick, like, and see what happens." Like, made it way better. It was a happy accident.
Magic coming on film.
Magic. So yeah, that's Jack. Then we get to Marcy. She's in the outhouse. I think we mentioned she does Katharine Hepburn in the mirror, and then she gets, I don't know which one's worse, an arrow through the neck or an axe to the face.
Worse as
two different things. Apples and oranges.
I think you're aware that you're choking to death longer than you are that, like, the blunt force of the axe to your brain.
Just a blur.
So it's probably faster, yeah.
Yeah. And Marcy just accepts it. Like, we see that she sees
just
it,
gives up.
The axe goes in the air and she just stands there and closes her eyes and is like, ah.
I think it was another safety issue, right? Because they were swinging this thing down. But yeah, she does. Her posture changes. She throws her head to the side and her arms, and it's like, really, you had time to at least like do something.
Yeah. So Marcy, axe to the face. That's a good one. That one stuck with me too. The first time I saw this, I was like, oh, yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good effect, like shown, but it does not show it go into the face. So it's like
it doesn't, yeah.
So that one, yeah. But I think in our heads, being younger watching it, we remember it going into it, right? But now watching it again, it's just like, okay, cut, and then here's a lady with that, prop axe in her head.
Yeah. And then after this, we go back to the Monopoly game, but it starts raining just as it was starting to get good. And Brenda's like, I left my window open in the cabin. So she's got to leave, leaves her clothes behind, just puts a raincoat over her bra and panties, and goes back to the cabin in the storm. So she lays down in bed, she gets cleaned up, and she starts hearing, help me, from outside, goes to look, and then we don't really see her again. She goes looking for a while. They could have cut like 5 minutes of her looking out of this.
Oh my gosh.
But we don't see her again until later. She gets thrown through a window right in front of Alice, with some arrows in her and tied to something. There's some rope around her.
Yeah.
So
which is my only real nitpick with
that she
the
got
movie.
to throw her through a window.
That somebody's 50-year-old could throw another human being through a window.
Something that's probably at least 4 feet off the ground, right? This window, right?
So I mean, she couldn't pick her up.
I don't know. Pamela was pretty stout.
She was. But
at this point, we don't know it's
she
her,
used that big rope and she swung her around. That's what she did. Just threw her through the window.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, if you're keeping track at home, we only have Steve, Alice, and Bill left. Everyone else has been is killed. Well, we don't know that Brenda's dead yet, but we do see that later.
We know Brenda had a baby.
What?
That's a Tupac joke. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Bill and Alice, they're looking around. They find the bloody axe in Brenda's bed. They start being like, we got to figure something out. Like, what? And the truck won't start. Oh, it's wet. Like, that's why. Okay.
It's wet.
And then Steve is at a diner. He starts, he pays the bill, and to apparently the inspiration for Chris Farley is the lunch lady who was serving him coffee.
Well, he was putting the riz on her, man. She was swooning. She was swooning.
She was going to
What do I owe you? Just a night on the town, Steve.
He's like, she's like $2.25, and he gives her like $2.30, and is like, keep the change.
Yeah,
keep the change.
I gave her $3.
Oh, thank you,
big spender.
And then so Steve makes his way back towards camp, driving his Jeep. And wait, doesn't the cops bring him too? I can't. Was it?
He crashed. He crashed. The Jeep and the trailer gets stuck.
Right, he gets stuck. Right? And the cop brings him. And is like, I can only bring you this far, because then the cop gets a call about someone somewhere else that he has to go to.
Like a head-on collision.
Yeah, a car crash or something. Yeah. So Steve walks the rest of the way, and Steve gets to the Camp Crystal Lake sign, and then he's blinded by the light.
Wrapped up like a deuce.
Confronts someone at the entrance there, like, hey, you look lost.
Right. Poor Steve. Steve almost made it.
Yep.
Almost made it.
Steve eats it.
If he would have taken that lunch lady to her house, he would have been fine, man.
Right. The lunch lady could get it.
She's probably like the sweetest person, but she's definitely like a Halloween costume. Yeah, so Steve gets it, and then this is where we get Alice basically just starts finding all her dead friends. Bill, he's killed off screen. She finds him hung on the door by some arrows.
Let's talk about Bill.
Alice is thrown through the window. She's finding all her friends dead. Talk about Bill. Go for it.
She was thrown through the window, but not through the walls.
All right. Somebody cut his mic.
Cut the mic. No, all right. So Bill, okay, they know some crazy shit's going on. They've already broken into the office to try to make phone call. The lines are dead, right? You're with me so far, right?
Yeah.
Then they go back. And the power's kicked off. Better check the generator. Like, come on, man. Yeah. You guys are together. That's your only, strength right now, right? Is being together. But look, better check the generator.
But they don't know.
They know enough. I know enough where I'm like, that generator can wait. It's not like I have food that's gonna spoil.
But these kids can't be like, oh, we've seen these scary movies. We know better, because they haven't.
Didn't exist.
These didn't exist yet.
They know people are missing. They know there's a bloody axe on a pillow, and they know the phone lines are dead, and their car's dead because it's wet. Enough to stay put.
Yeah. And then our hero, Mrs. Voorhees, arrives to save the day. Alice, she's going to help out Alice and find out what happened and get the police. And wait, no, she's not.
No. Surprise.
Mrs. Voorhees wants to see. She wants to see what happened. She wants to go inside.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, and then Mrs. Voorhees is a voice in her intro. What monster could have done this? Tells her story about the young boy who drowned. His name was Jason. Today was his birthday.
Uh-oh.
They should have been watching him. Whoa.
He was.
Down.
He wasn't a very good swimmer.
I mean, kind of on you, Pam.
Actually, personal note. This is June 13th, and it was Jason's birthday. That means Jason Voorhees shares a birthday with my youngest son, Ben.
Oh.
Hey. I always knew there was something about Ben, man.
Yeah, there's something about
that
Ben.
look.
He's
a strong swimmer, though, and he's been in my pool. He's a strong swimmer.
Yeah, he's a good swimmer. Yeah, he better be. If he's not, I'm gonna start worrying. Like, what are you doing with that hockey mask? And now you can't swim all of a sudden.
Yeah. I'm gonna hear your wife being like, "Kill him, mommy! Kill him!
Oh God!
Kill him, mommy!"
Man, and then we get some fight scenes between Alice and Mrs. Voorhees. You know, once Alice realized that
you know what this reminded me of? Charlie would probably get the reference. I don't know if Mike was a big Trekkie, but it reminded me of Kirk fighting the big green like lizard man, or Kirk fighting Spock in Star Trek episodes.
That was what I was just doing.
It was exactly.
Oh, that's from the cable guy.
Cable guy, yeah.
Well,
that's
he was
making
fun of
cable guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was from Star Trek.
Yeah,
that
was exactly that kind of stuff. Somebody would fall on somebody. Somebody would jump on them. Somebody they'd roll. There'd be two-handed smashes on the back. And at this point, Alice has already committed the trope of like half-ass hit and runs. Like
yeah.
Again. We've talked about this a million times. You just gotta make sure this person's incapacitated.
Yeah.
But at this point, I mean, that they kind of created. This movie created the slow villain who always catches you, and the stop the villain, run away. Don't pick up the machete and kill the villain. Don't pick up the fully automatic weapon with so many rounds you could kill everybody on Earth. Nah, just stop them and then run away. Right.
I'm at least hobbling that person. I'm at least taking out the knee and like. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna catch charges. They're gonna be like, "Whoa, bro, he was homeless. He came out of nowhere." I'm like, y'all didn't see, y'all weren't there. I mean,
why did you cut all 4 limbs off?
Y'all don't know that. Y'all seen Friday the 13th? Seen Friday the 13th? All right. Now you know.
So what you're saying is you're not gonna knock him over and then go outside and sit by a canoe?
No. There's going to be missing limbs. There's going to be a fire. The cops are going to show up with me roasting marshmallows on the body.
Yeah. How about the Mrs. Voorhees with the slap fighting, man? There was
that was pretty good.
I mean, I know there's some camera tricks, but that looked good.
It was good. Yeah. That part looked good. In the cabin looked good. Outside when they were rolling around and stuff, that was the Star Trek part I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is where Alice gets a hold of the machete. And then you get the slow-mo, and then whoop. Yep, Alice beheads Mrs. Voorhees from the wrong side. Have you noticed that? She the POV on her, she swipes the machete from like left to right, but then when they show Mrs. Voorhees, it comes in from right to left. And then when the hands fly up after she's beheaded, the hands go up in the air, and it's definitely Tom Savini's hands. It's definitely man hands with his gold class ring on.
Nice.
And then even like
it's a good touch though. He's
been interviewed about it. He's like, yeah, fuck that up. He's like, whoops. I don't think anybody
not as bad as the coloring on the zombies in Dawn of the Dead. That's the bigger F up.
Wow.
Sorry, Charlie.
So Alice gets in the canoe, goes out into the water where it's safe. The police arrive on shore. She thinks she's going to be safe, and then, we get a Carrie ending. Jason comes out of the water, the very last minute, pulls her under.
I wish I was a fly on the wall for whatever direction she was given when she sees the cops, because she looks up like, "Oh hey, Like, she doesn't even look out like she's been through the worst night ever. She looks like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys look like cops,
Y'all come
and
for
they're
the party?
smiling. Yeah, exactly. I'm
She's
just
probably
fiddling in the water.
relieved.
So didn't they add that scene? It wasn't originally scripted that way, but then they added that she gets dragged into
I think they
the
added
water
the
scene.
hospital scene because the critics or
Maybe,
the
yeah.
fans didn't like it or something.
They definitely wanted
if
this.
only-
They definitely were like, we need a jump scare at the end. So they definitely wanted her to get pulled under. But I
Yeah.
think maybe the hospital scene was added. But what they didn't want was like they weren't thinking like sequel when they made this, and they weren't thinking like let's make Jason the villain later on. Like they didn't have that in their mind at all.
Yeah, when you think about the end, it makes no fucking sense.
All right.
Like he's dead. His mom thinks he's been dead for 20 years.
You ready for
How
this?
all of a sudden?
Okay. In the original script, the movie ended with a much more quietly. Alice kills Pam. Police show up. Alice is taken away in shock. No Jason jump scare. Pamela's voice was originally meant to echo in Alice's head instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I definitely thought they wanted a jump scare in there, but
Tom Savini suggested adding one last scare to send the audience out scaring. It's basically, what if Jason jumps out? Like, I can imagine him be like, "Oh, what if then baby Jason jumps out of the lake?"
No, you missed the first part of this where you hear, you got that good shit, and you hear, what about this?
I got an idea.
I mean, it's the 70s, 80s, man. There's cocaine everywhere.
Oh my god!
All right, so Sean Cunningham loved the idea, even though Jason was never established as alive. The moment contradicts the logic of the story, and it wasn't planned as a sequel bait initially.
Did they create the sequel bait?
Maybe
they did, but they didn't want to. They didn't have that in mind when they made it.
I mean, but a lot of things happen accidentally. There's no sequel bait in Jaws, The Exorcist.
Yeah, I think
Halloween,
when your movie makes
disappear,
50 million, 60 million on a 500K budget, they're like, oh, you got to make another one.
Oh, for sure.
Paramount's like, run this back.
We already got the money for the next one.
And when they run it back, it's almost the same fucking almost.
Almost.
The debate is, was it a dream and she fell into the water, or did that really happen?
It was a dream.
I mean,
it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Ma'am, we didn't find any boy.
We didn't find a boy. He's still in there.
But then he's still there.
Which was another weird tone shift too. Like it was like her, looking very peaceful, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, she looked pretty in that shot. Real pretty.
Oh yeah,
eyes.
that was a really good shot.
Pretty blue eyes. Yeah.
Whoa,
nice.
Settle down, fellas. Whoa, pump the brakes.
Mike.
Oh, I can't say pretty.
You're a married man.
First I can't say mongoloid. Now I can't say pretty.
I knew he was going to say it again. I knew he was going to say it again. I should have put money on it.
That's the T-shirt. First I can't say this. Now I can't say pretty.
Say what?
I don't remember.
I think Mike's older than I am. You can't tell me what to say. This is America.
Oh man.
Should we talk about where were you going to take us with the rest of this?
Well,
Mike?
that wraps up part one. That wraps up the OG Friday the 13th. So we can get into our categories unless you guys want to hit on anything else.
Go for it, man.
All right. Which kill was best?
Easy for me.
Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Easy.
It was beautiful.
Number one with a bullet.
Yep.
Or a bullseye or an arrow or whatever.
Great design with the blood dropping on him.
Yep.
Was
his eyes just shift up. It's great. Love
the
Gory.
hand, the jump scare with the arm coming out, grabbing him by the forehead, the arrow coming through the neck. I mean, I can't really
no notes, right?
Better, no notes. Clearly no notes. I can't think of a better jump scare quiet kill in any movie right now.
No, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Could you escape this, or where do these victims go wrong?
I got one. I got one right here. Alice pushes Pamela Voorhees down, Mrs. Voorhees, runs out to the Jeep, doesn't want to ride in because it has a dead body. And I'm like, F that, move over, lady.
No,
Move over, dead body.
I'll sit right on your lap. I will sit right on your lap.
Pushing you out the door, man.
Your dead lap.
Or you're just riding along. I'll just ride along.
Let's go.
Yeah, so that's one. That's one
I
dumb
think,
moment.
yes. Yeah. I think
But she lives, so she's not. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would have got out in that Jeep. Or
for most of them, it's like just run. Like Marcy, when she sees the axe, right? She's just standing there, like run.
Yeah,
I think we're supposed to believe that happened a lot faster than it did.
Yeah, probably.
It's like Austin Powers.
Yeah. Like if you're Annie, are you listening to the townspeople? Are you just like, oh, maybe. You're crazy?
Well,
just
when they say
that's not true,
they say Camp Blood. They call it Camp Blood. They're like, the shit, like weird stuff's happening. When
you have to put yourself.
They're dumb kids, yeah.
You have to be able to put yourself in the frame of mind that these people are going to be in. They've lived their entire lives. They're in their 20s. If someone shines a flashlight in your face, how many times were you attacked by a murderer? 0 times.
7.
How many times have you been out in the woods and been attacked by a murderer?
18.
0 times, right? So it's not like they see one of their friends being murdered by somebody and then have a chance to think, this is fucked up, I need to run away. This is all happening where the other victims to be are not seeing it happen.
So Enos, though, like the whole town's basically
Anus.
Anus is basically telling her to quit and like all this stuff after Ralph. I mean, it's got to add a little doubt to your head. Like you can't like Google on your phone either,
right? But would you really think like, oh, Camp Blood, I better run away and shirk all of my responsibilities that I signed up for, even though I've never been murdered?
I'm gonna say
someone else can make the bug juice. All right.
Right.
That thing is like, that's a ragtag bunch of counselors right there, man. They've got the counselors basically doing home construction and putting gutters on like that. I don't know, man. That's a ragtag
70s, 80s, man. What do you think camp was like back then? Barely made it out.
Yeah.
There was about 1,000 Jasons that never got their time.
If this was a comedy, there'd have been a like fixing stuff montage with like some pop music behind it, where somebody's painting and then accidentally paint someone's face and then they laugh about it. Yeah.
Speaking of montages, we wouldn't have seen. Yeah, why did she put Steve in a tree? Like he falls down out of the tree, like hanging there. like what is happening?
Right as she's running by, he just like falls out.
That's why she puts him in the tree is the question. How she put him in the tree?
Well, Cabin in the Woods would tell us that they're being directed somewhere.
Right.
Triggered it anyway.
So, who's the dumbest character of this ragtag bunch? I'm going to make a case for Brenda real quick. You're playing Strip Monopoly. It starts raining. Oops, I left my window open. Gotta go. Puts on a raincoat, leaves her clothes behind. Dumb move number 1. Then she gets cleaned up and into bed. She's reading a book. Hears someone outside. In 2 seconds, she's up to go check. It's pouring down rain, and she goes back out into the rain without the raincoat she brought with her. In her clothes, she goes out in the rain. Not only does she venture past her door to the cabin, she's practically searching the entire campground for a while. Look, if I'm like, did I hear something? I go check the door and I don't see anything. I'm going back to bed.
And here's the thing, though. Like, I know women like go to the bathroom together, right? Like, I would think that they'd be like, "Oh, I'll come along. I'll come along." I didn't say it all the time, but I feel like if it was raining and she's like, "I got to run to the bathroom and check on this," I think somebody would have went with her. I'm not saying other than
I feel like that's legit because I mean, they don't know they're in a horror movie, but they do know they're out in the middle of nowhere in the dark. Yes, everybody gets ready and everybody goes.
We know buddy systems.
Unless there's like 20 people. There's only 3 of them. Yeah, they all get ready. They all go with Yeah.
Do you think Ned would have been happy to die knowing he would be a cuck?
What the fuck?
I think he'd be all right with it.
Yeah, he'd be like, at least I was there for that, right?
I went out right. That's
Right.
what he's thinking.
What,
Right.
Justin, can you do the thing that he did when he's like, "There's no craziness going on here"? Can you reenact that for us?
Which one?
When the cops come and he's
when he was acting like a Native American?
yes.
Oh God.
No, I cannot do that.
Oh,
But
someone's got to let me off the hook for saying the N word.
I did look up a fun quote for you guys. Okay, Officer Dorf. That was the name of the motorcycle cop. Officer Dorf. What you been smoking, boy? And then Jack. I'm gonna be Jack here. Smoking? Don't smoke. Causes cancer. Officer Dorf. You know what I mean? What did you just get off a spaceship or something? Come on, Colombian gold, man, grass, hash, the weed, dig it.
The weed.
Dig it.
The weed.
Dig it.
He's on the weed.
He's on the dig it.
Yeah. It was
all
the
right,
80s,
categories.
Kinda. Yeah.
Keep going with these dumbest characters.
Body count. Oh, anybody got dumbest characters? I got Brenda.
I'll go with Brenda. Sure.
I'm gonna go. Bill fights through it, but Bill doesn't know how to kill a snake. Doesn't know how to do anything with his car. Bill's just there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ned ventures off on his own a lot and pretends to drown. You know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like Brenda. I like your case for Brenda. I'll keep it.
Ned is probably the least intellectual of the group, but Brenda could have avoided maybe her own death.
I don't think Ned wouldn't survive the Me Too era. That's all I gotta say.
Ned was somebody's friend who got a summer job.
Right.
Because he knew somebody.
Body
was
count,
it
guys.
Tom Cruise?
Body count? 7.
8.
10.
Oh, the first 2.
Yeah.
I forgot about the first 2.
The first 2 plus the first 2 counselors plus 7 counselors in the present and Mrs. Voorhees. Yep. What are you guys giving this for a gore score?
Ooh.
I feel like we've seen way worse on here. I'm gonna start with that. There's blood. There's no organs. There is neck veins and shit.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with like a 5.
I'll go with a 5 as well. I agree.
I was gonna go 6.
Because of the close up of the Kevin Bacon part, or what puts it over the edge for you?
Yeah, it's the close up stuff.
Annie.
Like even Annie's is like it opens up and spurts out, and Kevin Bacon's there's an axe in the face.
Axe in the head.
Even like a lot of the blood from like Bill being hung up and like Steve falling down out of the tree, and
there's a lot of stuff off like screen. Like it didn't show. Like the second counselor, it didn't show.
True, yeah. Like I'm trying to look at
Steve. Steve got that was an implied stab wound. Ned, we didn't even see Ned killed. Like we saw the aftermath.
Yeah, this is not as gory as some stuff like in Nightmare on Elm Street, which we gave a 7 to.
Okay.
So I didn't want to go up that high, but what do we got? Saw, we gave a 5.5. So I kind of landed on 6 because I think it's a little gorier than Saw. Even though Saw has like a visceral scene, some visceral stuff, but maybe 5.5. I'll come down to 5.5 or
Okay.
5 or 5.5.
All right.
You
So
both
we're at
said
a
5. We'll say 5.
15 and a half divided by 3.
We'll say 5.
6.73.
Okay. 6, 7.
5 it is. The IMDb more like this section is basically the other movies in this franchise. Let's move on to our Horror Hall of Fame. Is Sean S. Cunningham a Hall of Fame director?
I wouldn't. I mean, it would take a few classes before I would strongly consider. But it's a good movie.
He directed a classic.
He did direct
a Hall
a
of Fame
classic
movie, but still.
Like, let's say is one Super Bowl where you're the MVP of the Super Bowl enough to get in the Hall of Fame?
No,
Might be,
it's not enough. But
no, not for horror movies.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say no, but not yes either. Like more discussion to be had. TBD.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other people who aren't in that need to be in before him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would definitely say that. Is the killer a Hall of Famer? Is Mrs. Voorhees immortal? Is she a Hall of Famer?
Once again, it's like that's a Jack Torrance type of character, right? But less so because we get 10 minutes of Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say
but nobody associates this chain of movies.
That's true
with her.
It's don't.
Jason.
But
yeah,
I think Mike brought this up one time that some impressive kills. She's throwing people through windows. She's hanging people up into trees. She's hoisting up on a door and then putting arrows into them to keep them on there. I mean, she's doing some impressive stuff, but yeah, I don't know if it's enough.
Yeah.
TBD.
TBD.
We'll circle back. Are any of our heroes or protagonists a Hall of Famer? This would be Alice, our final girl. Is she a Hall of Famer?
Kind of created didn't create the genre, but kind of is who you associate as one of those first ones.
Defeats Pamela Voorhees, defeats Mrs. Voorhees, kills her.
Right.
After she went through all of her friends and killed them all. But not like she doesn't return and do this over and over again like maybe some others.
It's not her fault though.
She's not. My thing when we talked about some final girls on the Nightmare on Elm Street podcast, it was Nancy Thompson is like an active final girl. Like she's like, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go and kill Freddy.
Make some traps.
Like I'm gonna fuck him up. Alice is kind of like, I'm on the run, and then when I'm not on the run, like, okay, I grabbed this weapon and I killed you. So that's the difference. Like, that's the difference between some of them. Some of them are active and like, go after it, and some of them are just like, I'm on the run until like I get the upper hand, basically by accident. So I think by accident, she does one thing to save her life, but she was on the run.
Did you see that knot she did to secure her door, though? That was pretty cool. I was like, and then she put every piece of furniture in front of that door. Never mind. But yeah, I'm going to go with you guys. I don't know if the body of work and her role in her own surviving was as proactive.
Yeah.
All right. Movie props that you want to nominate for the Hall of Fame, or maybe you're just cool to have. What do you guys have?
Machete.
The machete
shows up early.
Great.
Definitely. I like the Camp Crystal Lake sign, the Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
I've got one of those myself.
Do you? Nice. I want one of the yellow polo shirts off of the guy from the
original,
first kill.
the OG ones. Yeah.
1958. That's that's the first kill in the franchise. That's got to be worth something or memorable,
Yeah.
How about the Mrs. Voorhees head prop that comes off at the end?
That's a tough one.
How about the mold of baby Jason's face?
Huh?
The plaster cast of his face.
Right. Yeah.
No, there's later on. Obviously, his mask makes it into spoiler alert. It's in their Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So the machete might join in here, and
some other stuff. We'll see. All right.
If you saw, don't have Pamela in. What's her name? Betsy Palmer or Betsy?
Yeah.
If you just had a mannequin and it was that outfit with the knife on the holster, would you recognize that? Would you be like, that's Pamela Voorhees?
Yeah. The sweater and all that. Maybe it's just because I've seen this so many times, but
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would recognize it.
It's not the hockey mask, but I would recognize it. It's not Freddy's sweater, like that a casual person would be like, oh, that's Freddy's. But I would recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let me run down some fun facts for you. Where'd my joint go? There we go. All right. Fun facts.
Whoa, what?
So early in the movie, Steve comments on Alice's drawings. Adrienne King, who plays Alice, is actually an artist. When they interview her for the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, she is in her art studio where they interview her at. So those are actually her drawings. The boy in the lake dream sequence was tacked on at the last minute. They said you can get away with anything in a dream, so you can do this and call it whatever you want, basically. Cunningham was against it. No one was thinking of a sequel at the time. Steve Miner was the producer on this film, felt the same way, did not think of a sequel at the time, did not want to have the, any kind of hanging on, any kind of thing that would lead you to a sequel, but he ended up directing parts 2 and 3 after this. Brian De Palma, who directed Carrie, was asked about the ending to Friday the 13th in an interview, and he said, "I liked it, and I saw it coming." De Palma also admits that he took a page from Deliverance for the ending of Carrie. So everyone is just paying homage all over the place, right?
Right. For sharing. Sharing is caring.
Right.
Caring is sharing.
The writer of this film, Victor Miller, never returned to the franchise. Cunningham said the decision of Jason to become the killer was the worst idea he'd ever heard. Miller as well. Tom Savini said the same thing as well. Little did they know that this guy would be such an icon, maybe like a decade down the road, not even.
Yeah.
Let's see. We talked about Gene Siskel earlier. He doxed Betsy Palmer, hated it so much that she did this role that he put Betsy's address in his review in the Chicago Tribune and encouraged people to send her hate mail.
Oh my God, what a prick.
But put the wrong address in there. So some other poor asshole got all this hate mail, I guess. But yeah, what an asshole. You can't do that shit. No. Jesus Christ. Fuck off, Gene.
Gene?
Yeah, fuck off, Gene. Sally Field apparently turned down the role of Alice. I don't think I'd buy that for a second. Maybe she was offered it and turned it down, but there's no way like she was not like given the role or whatever.
Well, she was a working actress for a long time by now.
Star.
She was an Oscar-winning actor at this point.
Yeah, she won an Oscar for Norma Ray, like while they were filming this. She's in Smokey and the Bandit. She's in Hooper. She's
nobody
super
duper
duper star.
Role.
She's also 34 years old when this comes out. So like everyone in this movie is like 19.
Nah. Right.
He could have been in the diner.
Nobody associated with this movie had enough pull to get close to Sally Field.
I don't know if she turned it down, much less is like in a conversation. They're like, let's get Sally Field. And they like could never get Sally Field.
Quit snorting that shit.
Right. Let's see here. When Brenda was thrown through the window, that is Tom Savini dressed up as Brenda. He's, stuntman. I'll fly through that glass. I'll jump through that pane glass window.
Sure.
And then when Bill is hung up on the door with the arrows, Adrienne King was not told about this. The actress who plays Alice wasn't told about this. So her fright there when she pulls back the door and he's hanging there, her fright was genuine in that scene.
She thought it was a summer love movie. She didn't even know. She didn't even know it was a horror movie.
All right. I got a couple more questions for you guys.
All right.
Before we get out of here. Do you have a favorite movie in this franchise, or maybe a top 3 or a bottom 3?
Hell yeah, I have a favorite.
Yeah, your favorite sucks.
Yeah.
Justin can't wait to troll everybody.
I'm just saying this one of all the movies, this one's my favorite.
Here's my favorite.
Okay.
Here's my favorite 3, guys. Jason Goes to Hell. Jason versus Freddy. Does that count?
Yeah, it
counts. And this one. Those are my 3 faves.
Odd. Nobody likes Jason Goes to Hell. All right.
I like them in order 1, 2, 3.
I like 4 the most. 4
Feldman.
Yeah, I like 4 the most. I like 6 a lot, and then I like this one.
Here's the deal with. I'm gonna let you guys in. I'm gonna watch them again just for you guys, so I can maybe come up with a better number 2.
How about a better number one?
Nope.
Jason Goes to Hell is good for 5 minutes, and then it's like, what the fuck are we doing? And then he's not in it anymore.
He is. He's in the mirrors.
God. Anyway, yeah. I mean, 4 is good, 6 is good, and then I like this one. I mean, I like Jason, man. This one doesn't have Jason. I like Jason, so I got to put a Jason one above this one.
That's fair. I went with the least Jasons, and you went with the most Jasons.
Is the Friday the 13th franchise overrated, underrated, or properly
rated? I think we're far enough removed from it where it's properly rated. Like
Same.
I think in the moment, like when they were coming out every year, or when they were trying to revive it, and they even did that stupid remake. Did anybody see the remake? It was.
I don't think
anyway.
Yeah.
It was
2009.
super forgettable. It was super anyway. But yeah, I think the further removed we are, the more it's just like, oh yeah, that was a solid slasher series. I mean, it jumped the shark a couple times, as we've talked about, but good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think it's properly rated too. I don't think anyone's like, oh, they're all terrible, or like, oh, no one appreciates this enough. I mean, it's iconic and people do appreciate it. And I think what makes it so iconic is that it's so even as you get deeper into the catalog, there are some that are hits and some that are misses, but there's some that people like really love. Like Part 6, it might be widely regarded as one of the best in the franchise among like the community that loves this franchise. Like Part 6 is up there in like high regard. Which, how many franchises can you say that about? Like Hellraiser 6? No. Like Freddy 4, 5, 6? No.
The Last Final Destination?
Resident Evil 6? Probably not. Yeah. Final Destination Bloodlines was good.
Yeah, but like
there's not many that you can be like, the 6th installment is like, wow, that was amazing. Like that might be the best one in this whole thing out of 12,
No, I agree, but I think you're a giant Friday the 13th fan though, right?
Yeah.
And so
but I know like some of them are not good. Like 2 is not great. 5 is terrible.
So it's like Halloween, where you said like one of the newer ones was good, but the other ones were bad, right?
Right. Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a bunch of stuff for a bunch of different type of fans. Like there's some super campy ones in there, like 8, for example. But a lot of people. Wait, what's Manhattan? Is that 8?
8. I love 8.
Yeah. But it's super campy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got something for everybody, right? If you like the more sci-fi stuff, go to the newest, or go to hell one.
10.
You go to hell.
You go to hell.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on Friday the 13th?
I think we covered it all.
We've done it all, man. Are we going to try to do this every Friday the 13th, or is it a surprise?
I mean, I think that every Friday the 13th, we should do the next one that hasn't been done yet. That means maybe if somebody makes one of the Friday the 13th their pick, then, that's their pick. And then next time it's a Friday the 13th, then we do the next one that hasn't been picked yet.
And then when we go through all of them, we do Saturday the 14th.
Yes.
Oh, which I like Saturday the 14th.
Is that the spoof?
The spoof comedy of
Yeah, I watched that one a lot as a kid. It was always on cable.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. This was awesome, I think. I hope you guys think it was awesome.
So good.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where we are in our timeline. Our next host is Justin. His movie pick, we don't have it yet, but make sure you tune in for that. That's okay. Make sure you tune in.
Trying to line up a collab
on Monday for Justin's movie pick. And thank you for listening to the All Guts So Gory podcast. If you like what we do here, best thing you can do for us is rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. Like us on Instagram, follow us there. All Guts So Gory Pod. For Justin and Charlie, I'm Mike. This was Friday the 13th, the cornerstone horror movie for this episode, for this podcast. All Guts So Gory. Andy, take us home.
This is the friend.